Hello, everybody. My name is Mark Fortin for Michigan Matters. This is Wednesday, the 4th of February. Some great news in the beginning here is that it looks as though the citizens only voting petition has been successful, and the issue should be on the November ballot this year. Um, Naturally, that does not impact this particular election we're facing in November, but it's a big step forward for election integrity in Michigan, and it's really great. Thank you for all of it circulated and signed and so on. It looks like it's all good to go. Also, in the southeast Michigan, one of the largest cities in southeastern Michigan has a mayor named Taylor, Sterling Heights, and he has been in the news last week. I believe it's January 20 at a meeting where he openly lambasted his own police department for working with ICE, saying that this country is an absolute disgrace. Now, this guy claims to be a Republican. He's been mayor for some time. We've been watching him, and in no way, shape, or form has he ever acted like a Republican. So he's clearly a rhino. And to go against our own nation like this is absolutely unforgivable. I hope the people of Sterling Heights pay attention to this, and there is talk of recall, that kind of thing, but I don't know if it'll go beyond talk. But he says it's an absolute disgrace. He's the absolute disgrace. Even if he was a Democrat, he'd be an absolute disgrace because these people are against our own darn country. President Trump has received from the people of America a clear mandate on a program that includes getting rid of millions of illegal aliens who are sucking the blood out of the American people, killing us and everything else. It's incredible what's been going on. He has the mandate. That mandate, is not just strictly for him. It's for our government. The people of America have spoken clearly, 70-some million of them, all the swing states, everything, have spoken clearly to Trump and the government itself. You people in the United States Senate, and you people in the United States House, you people in Lansing, you have all been given a mandate by the people. They want this fixed. They want an end to the deep state, the uniparty garbage that you're pulling, and all this sort of thing. They want to be represented in a true republic like this country was designed to be. And this has got to change. People like this have to go. And it's a real shame that this guy's got the brass to pull this kind of thing, and he'll probably get away with it. Anyway, that mandate goes all the way down to townships. That's why we exist, pushing an America First type agenda, the people first, Michigan first agenda in the state of Michigan at all levels of government, because we need a change. Michigan is known as being one of the most corrupt states in the union, and it is. Anyway, before I go on, I'll show this. I'll never get rid of this. February 12, 2023, involving an issue at the time concerning, I think it was the Macomb County prosecutor. Anyway, the headline of the Free Press was, "Corruption in Macomb County, just the way it is." It was the political culture. It started at the very top, federal authorities say. We are well known in Macomb County to be corrupt, and Michigan. Our elections are corrupt. Now, talking about that, the next item I want to talk about is the Secretary of State debates recently. Last Saturday, I attended the 9th Congressional District Secretary of State debate. And the 9th District, Lori Skibo and her team did an absolutely fantastic job. It was a packed house and approximately, I think, 300 people there, I think. And it was a beautifully done program. I'm going to talk more about that later, but I'd like to go on first to the 10th District debate. Now, the 10th District debate, that was decently attended, and I don't know how many, but the moderators were both past Secretary of States, one of whom is openly in supporting one of the candidates, Macomb County Clerk Tony Ferlini. And so these past Secretary of States, one of them Candace Miller, who was a very good Secretary of State, by the way, and the other Ruth Johnson. Ruth Johnson did a lot to clean up voter rolls, but she also brought in the Dominion machines. that have been corrupting our elections ever since, which I think is a combination of those machines and the mail-in ballots too. But anyway, and they're both for Ferlini. They're establishment people. Elected officials cling together. But anyway, so it was not, the debate was clearly, in my mind, a Ferlini political commercial. Now, getting back to the 9th debate. So the 9th debate was something I've never seen quite like it before. Now, normally when we go to these forums and debates, there's some kind of audience participation. Usually they'll have cards or something in which you can write questions, turn them in, and some of them are selected. And a lot of people question the integrity of that kind of system. But in all honesty, I've been involved in it before where you'll get a bunch of cards and a lot of the cards are the same identical question. So you shuffle through them to get different ones and it looks like you're, and you could be nefarious, no doubt about that, but I don't think in most cases it is. It's just duplicate questions. But many times it's that. Sometimes they might have a mic and people are invited to ask a question and, you sir, what's your question kind of thing. But this was totally different. This one, the moderators were absolutely unbelievable. It was Seth Keshel. He is a well-known election expert, election integrity guy. And then naturally, the main one was Laura Logan. Laura Logan has been absolutely fantastic. And then Dr. John Eastman. They asked all the questions. There was nothing from the audience. It was all solely based on election integrity. Now, it's awful interesting that one of the candidates couldn't make it. Okay, Mr. Ferlini couldn't make it. He initially there was contact and everything was positive, so on and so forth. But as time went on, and after Mr. Seth Keshel came on board as being a election integrity guy and everything, all of a sudden the management in the campaign for Mr. Ferlini discovered a conflict, so he couldn't make it. Now, this was all about election integrity, and believe me, he did not want to answer questions involving election integrity by somebody that knows what the hell's going on. Now, so anyway, the questions were fantastic, the audience responsive. It was very, very good, and it really brought a lot to light. They did point out the one missing individual and that kind of thing. But this kind of thing is what happens in Michigan, maybe other places too. I don't know. But in this state, elected officials all coalesce around each other no matter what. Now, I want to give you a little bit of history. In 2020, we, the people across the state of Michigan, knew that Donald Trump won that election. I traveled the state and talked to different events and people, and everybody did. But I could find nobody in Michigan that was elected to public office that would question the election. Some of these people are running for office today, for governor, things like that. They denied that there was a problem with the election. As a matter of fact, the Michigan Senate put out a report on the election saying that everything was just fine. In fact, in that report, I should have dug it out for this broadcast. In that report, I think it was McBroom report, I think. But anyway, in that report, the Senate, headed by Republicans, urged the Democrat Attorney General to investigate those of us who had questions about the election. We're citizens of the United States, a republic. We have a right to ask any question we want about our government, pure and simple. But that's what they did. And what did that person do over time? That person, that corrupt Attorney General, went after the Republican electors that just recently came to an end, thank God. But for 2 years, these people were tormented in court for being legally elected electors by the Republican Party at convention to be electors for the Republican nominee if elected. And then, to this day, they're after Stephanie Lambert. She's in court today for questioning the election. So this uniparty Republicans are disgusting and sickening, and some of them are running for office right now, including Secretary of State. Oh, well, the elections, I did a fraud. I did a audit. It was a fraud. Okay? It was not an actual forensic audit. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important issue we have a lot of important issues. We could talk all night on that. We have all this school board stuff. We have all these things. But everything we do, issues, okay? Like the one that we just said they had enough signatures for, the citizen vote thing. All these things come down to an election, okay? We're going to be voting in November on the citizen vote thing. Is our election safe and secure? No, I don't see anything that says it's safe and secure. I think it's more watched than ever before. But all these people running for office at every level, U.S. House, U.S. Senate, governorship, everything else, they all claimed our election was wonderful and they knew different in 2020. They defended it to the end, even against the people, even wanting a Democrat to investigate them for questioning it. You and I have a right to question our government, pure and simple. It is a free right, part of our free speech, part of our Constitution. But Republicans who claim to support the Constitution somehow can't make that differentiation. So anyway, I think that event, kudos to Lori Skibo and her team. They did a fabulous job on that. And I think, myself personally, I'm looking very hard at every race. And anybody that's been involved in government, this government that has been a uniparty for so long, I want to see fresh faces in these primaries. Whether it's convention or whether it's in the primary in August, we have to quit looking at the person with the most money, the most ability to win, vote for the best person in the primary. We can all come together and support the Republican nominee, whoever that may be. Okay, I'd like to talk about the governor. I don't have a favorite, but I got one that I want the least to the governor race, and I'm not going to mention it. But if that person wins, I'm going to get behind him because that's what we have to do. But right now we have a choice. And don't listen to garbage about, oh, this one can beat the Democrat in November, or this one's got the money, or this one. No, what's going on here with this one? What's going on in the heart? Are they people that are going to do something for Michigan? Why is it that our legislature, we have a couple of good people, but most of them are uniparty people because Michigan's known for that. But how come our legislature can't look at successful states and look at each other and say, wow, this state look at what they're doing. Why can't we do that? They have no interest whatsoever, folks. They got a system going that works out beautiful for all of them, Democrat and Republican, and they maintain and protect that system. We need a Secretary of State that's going to go in there and fix this thing. Fix it, or at least attempt to. But anyway, also, one more thing. I could not find it before the broadcast, but I know that there's going to be another Secretary of State event soon, and Tudor Dixon is going to be the moderator. Now, I like Tudor, but Tudor has already been supporting one of these candidates on the Laura Trump show. I watched the whole thing. Very much behind that person, but she is going to be a moderator at a very future event. I mean, so these events, you have to look at them. You have to look at things like the straw polls. The straw polls are corrupt. They always are. There's always a way to cheat at a straw poll. So whether it's your candidate won it or somebody else won it, it really doesn't tell you a whole lot. But so that kind of thing. Don't go by that. Try to study the candidate a little bit, their history. Have they ever had a real job, or have they just been working for government their whole life? That kind of thing. But anyway, God bless all. Well, one more thing. On February 9th, Monday, February 9th, at the office, Michigan Matters office, 39099 Garfield, we have Patrick Colbeck is going to be here, and he is going to be talking about elections. It's going to be a very good program. Now, we only have seating for about 80 people, so first come, first served, and we hope to see you all there. And we're going to try to get some more chairs because I think we're going to have a pretty good event for Patrick. And he will have some of his books available too, if you are so interested. And that will be on Monday. You'll find it on our website, in our newsletter, be on Monday, February 9th. So thank you very much. God bless you. Pray for our country, pray for our president. We are in, I know that every election people say this is the most important one, but this is the one on our 250th year will determine if America stays a republic or if our last hope in this world, we know God's in charge of everything, but in this world, we will never get a person trying to fix things like Donald Trump is and trying to end the New World Order and all this stuff. So hang in there, pray for your families. God bless you. See you next time.